What is good, ambush? And welcome to this bonus Tuesday interview here at the Desert Tiger Podcast, here with me, the host of the DTP. I am Colton G, and this bonus Tuesday interview of the Desert Tiger Podcast, I am joined by the reluctant cowboy Troy Kokol. Yes, it is the second time that Troy Kokol is joining the podcast. And this time we're talking all about his new single that released yesterday. It is called Like a Record. The last time that Troy joined us, it was May 30th, 2019. We were discussing a music video that he had created himself and how he had gone and learned claymation so that he could craft and create his own music video for a track called Lightbulb. Well, now more than over a year later, once again, Troy has created his own music video for this new track, Like a Record, but this time around, he's actually gone and learned a different animation technique. This time, he has gone and learned rotoscoping. You may have seen it before in other classic music videos such as a-ha's Take On Me, Dire Straits' Money for Nothing, and even Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park, just to name a few. Well, we're gonna discuss the song, its theme, and how it connects to the music video as well, and why exactly did Troy choose rotoscoping to help him represent this track. Last time Troy was on the show, we also talked about his songwriting credentials, his work as a producer and a mixer. Well, we're gonna see what the last year has held for Troy as well, talking about some of those projects as well as his wife's record, which he has been working on. We also discussed that a little bit last time. So yes, I'm very excited for this reconnection with the reluctant cowboy himself, Troy Kokol. I hope that you are excited to take this journey through the desert as well. Put your paws in the sand. Before we get started, before we play Like a Record for you, I just have to go and shout out a few ways that you can help support the Desert Tiger Podcast. And of course, one of those ways is ilovedtp.com, because that's where you go and get yourself some amazing Desert Tiger Podcast swag so that you can rep the show every single place that you go. And well, you can also check us out over at our YouTube page, Colton G Desert Tiger. We've recently started a vlog, so why don't you come check it out? Hit subscribe. Join the journey as we continue to grow the video aspects of Desert Tiger as well. All right, with all that being said, I think it's time to give this track a spin, just like a record.
Hurt's got a way of making your heart stay in one place forever. Time's the only thing that seems to change. Stuck in time when I miss you. But every now and then, I think I'm on the mend. Think I might be turning a corner. Till I think of you again, over and over. I'm just a wreck, your thoughts skip back, your thoughts skip backward, just like a record. I'm just a wreck, your thoughts skip back, your thoughts skip backward, just like a record, just like a record, just like a record. Sleep's a long gone thing of the past. 'Cause every night when my eyes close, words echo inside of my head, especially those I regret most. But every now and then, I think I'm on the mend, think I might be turning a corner, till I see you again, then it starts again, over and over. I'm just a wreck, your thoughts skip back, your thoughts skip backward, just like a record. I'm just a wreck, your thoughts skip back, your thoughts skip backward, just like a record, just like a record, just like a record. Call you, hang up, go to sleep, wake up, think of you, repeat, repeat, repeat. I'm just a wreck, your thoughts skip back, your thoughts skip backward, just like a record. I'm just a wreck, your thoughts skip back, your thoughts skip back. I'm just a wreck, your thoughts skip back, your thoughts skip backward, just like a record. I'm just a wreck, your thoughts skip back, your thoughts skip backward, just like a record, just like a record, just like a record. Hurt's got a way of making your heart stay in one place forever.
The Desert Tiger Podcast.
Hello, Troy. This is Colton.
Hey, how's it going? I saw Texas, and I was like, "Are you in Texas?"
No, the number I have for Skype here, for some reason, they don't sell Canadian numbers, so...
Oh, cool. Well, good enough. Why not?
Right? I mean, if it works, it works.
Totally. Right on.
All right. Well, how are you doing? You're in Saskatchewan, right?
Yeah, you betcha. We basically been working our little fingers to the bone here on the music stuff, and decided to hop out to the prairies to go visit family and chill. So we're chilling for the extra long weekend, and so we're actually sitting in front of, we're at the Tim Hortons in Weyburn, so it's like, life is good.
Now that is definitely a post-Canada Day scene for sure.
100%. How are things going with you? How's the blog life treating you?
Everything's going pretty good, I must say. Everything's starting to really come together. It's been going really well the last year.
I know. I've been watching the posts, and it's like you've been interviewing some amazing artists, so it's good for you. I'm glad to see it's taken off. So,
based on some emails I've gotten recently, it seems to only continue to be going that way. So it's all good news.
That's awesome, man. Glad to hear that.
Well, and always glad to reconnect with past guests as well. Continue to build that relationship too.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries. My pleasure. It is always my pleasure. So I believe we caught up last May. It was actually another different long weekend.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, 100%.
All right. So what exactly has the last year been like for you? I mean, the last time we caught up, we spoke a lot about your songwriter credentials, your work as a producer. So Have you been doing a lot of that work over the last year?
You bet. I've been working with an artist, a few artists in Canada and one artist in Australia. So it's been, the producing work has can't say it's taken over my life, but it's definitely, it's a much, I've been spending a lot more time on it. That's for sure. Of course, I've got my own artist stuff that I do, which is, for me, that's more of a joyful practice. But definitely the producing has gobbled up a lot more time. So, but I'm enjoying it.
Well, that's definitely good. The last time we spoke too, I believe you were just about to record your wife's record. How did that experience go?
Well, we're finished recording, and now we were going to do a release obviously this summer, but obviously because of the pandemic and not being able to tour, and marketing is a lot more difficult when you have to do it online. So, and you can't even do a release party. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to wait till the new year and see how it goes, because probably release something to radio and then do a release event in the new year. I think is what we're going to do to try to make sure that we capitalize on the release as best as possible. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. Hopefully things continue to improve so that hopefully those plans can continue as they are currently planned.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
So how exactly has this whole pandemic shifted your own plans as a musician?
I think mostly what I've been trying to do is to think of ways to engage, the people that I'm trying to, fans, audience, trying to figure out ways to do that, besides getting on the road and doing shows or going to, visit people, really thinking about trying to be creative with ways to do it online. And this was part of the reason about, I did an animated video for this, and part of the reason behind that was to, just to have something extra for people to, to look at and to create more interest, just to be different, And so it's really been trying to strategize and figure out a way to do it online that could make you stand out,
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And this is now the second music video that you have animated yourself.
That's right. Yeah, you betcha. This one, the first one was largely stop motion. Like I made puppets and all that good stuff. And so I wanted to try something different. So I did more of a full animation, but it's actually a technique called rotoscoping, where you're actually drawing over top of real life things. So it's a combination of like real life shots and rotoscoping. So because I wanted to make it sort of visually interesting, and but it's fun technique to do, because you can it allows you to be a little more creative and to because it's not like you're just drawing it all. You get to use real footage to create something that's animated. So it opens up a whole different set of creative tools.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So you had mentioned last time we spoke that the claymation definitely took quite a bit of time to learn in order to respectfully present the video the way you wanted to. So with rotoscoping, like you said, there's quite a bit of thought involved behind animating something that already exists within a video. So what was the process like learning rotoscoping, and why exactly did this animation technique strike your eye?
I think mostly because I enjoy watching it because because it mirrors real life. I found it for me it's appealing, but I think for the most part, I thought visually, to me, it's interesting, and also because the song is called Like a Record. There's a storyline that follows a cassette tape that gets abandoned by its owner and then rediscovered, and so the rotoscope technique was used widely in the 70s and 80s. So I wanted to use something that was sort of reflective of that time. So that's one of the reasons why I chose that particular technique. But also because visually, I just think it's really cool. But for me, when I had to write the story, and I ended up using about 2,000 of the illustrations, but I probably drew more like 2,500 to 3,000. And that was the big lesson that I had to learn, was that planning ahead, and especially understanding how much time I had, because I'd done all of this animating, and once I started piecing the story together, I realized, man, I made way too much content for the actual piece. So I had to go back, and I understand now why filmmakers, they go back and they edit and cut out scenes, because it's like, man, you can't plan it all. But it was quite a learning curve.
Mm-hmm, definitely. You have so many different ideas, and once you finally actually get to creating all of them and getting the basis of them, you realize just how much time they take up. So like most directors, and especially those who have to work with a budget, you have to decide, okay, where do we have to pull from, and what helps really bring this tale of the story together the best.
Exactly. And picking scenes that that visually are interesting, but also tell the story, because that was the thing I realized, that I'm trying to tell the story, but I can't incorporate all of the moves and the scenes that I want to. So which ones are good? They aren't necessarily the prettiest scenes, but the scenes I had to choose were the ones that were going to get the story across, so that someone could watch it and understand what was going on. So that was the other side of it, is that I had to cut some scenes, but I also had to add some stuff, because I realized, this scene doesn't really transition well into the next, and that's all part of that whole learning curve. I mean, it's only the second animation I've ever done, so it's myself. It's the third one I've directed, but it's such a it's such a big learning curve for me. So, but fun.
Yes, definitely a different learning curve, especially when you're tackling different techniques every single time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you bet.
All right, and I also like the idea of using the rotoscoping the same way as using the tape in a way of telling the story of that reconnecting theme, connecting it to the song. And I mean, it is a really cute video as well. I really enjoy it. But let's jump into the actual theme of the video as well as the lyrics, sort of being stuck in a rut and going over and over the past. So were you sort of in that sort of situation where you found yourself going over something from past memories, or what brought about this song?
I think, when you're an artist and you're trying to convey your emotions, a lot of it has to do with my own experiences with friendships, with past relationships, when you have someone in your life and then they leave, and then, whether it's a friend or, a girlfriend or whatever, it's like, and then you think it's like, man, what could I have done differently? And then I think the one thing that we always do is we go over the words that we said, and we're like, man, if I only would have changed this, because it's like we want to have some closure. And I feel like that's a pretty universal theme in my life anyways. It's that, we're always trying to reconnect with the things that we've done in the past and the memories. And if the things ended badly, I think there's a part of us that wants to go back and fix it, but of course we can't. So we're constantly sort of reliving it. And I guess that's how we learn our lessons in life, and how we, become better people, is that we try to improve our behaviors next time, right? So, but that's what the song is all about, is really going over those, those mistakes and trying to, find some way to find some closure to it all.
Absolutely. So find some closure, whereas the video sort of kind of takes a new aspect where it's a little less the emotional relationship and more of the physical relationship with the, well, I mean, there still definitely is an emotional relationship with the tape.
Yeah, totally. Well, and I think it's one of those things too where, I've been getting into listening to old media, tape cassettes and vinyl. And the interesting part for me is that when I listened, I picked up I think it was a Radiohead cassette, and I'm like, man, like, you listen to the songs, and of course it brings you back, and there's that reminiscent thing. But I thought it would be, I didn't want to. The song's it's a little sad, so I thought it would be cuter if it was, this tape cassette, is revered and loved when it comes into the home, and then Todd gets a CD, and then of course he doesn't want to listen to cassette tape anymore, and then the cassette tape has to find a home, right? So, and it was great because Recordland in Calgary allowed me to film about half of the video in their space, and I was really grateful that they allowed me to use their storefront and to use their shelves to sort of get to the end of the story, and I won't spoil it for anyone that's going to watch it, but ultimately it was a great part of the of being able to tell the story, to have the the cassette tape have a reunion with the its owner. So
no, and then definitely the entrance of the store moment there too, it's that definitely warmed my heart as well.
Yeah, it was. I was grateful they allowed me to film there. So.
And then even include one of the staff from the looks of it as well to be a part of the story too.
Yeah, for sure. That's actually the owner of Recordland.
Oh wow! So, all right, shout out.
Yeah, so he was. Yeah, so he was very willing, because I asked him if I just thought because he's a bit of a. I mean, Recordland is sort of one of those stores that everybody knows in Calgary, and the guy who owns it, a lot of people know who he is because he's it's a fixture in Calgary. So I was really glad that he agreed to be in the video. So.
Well, next time I'm driving through Caltown, I'll have to stop in and give it a look, because I myself have started to collect a little bit of vinyl over the last couple of years. I haven't really jumped back fully into the cassettes, but I understand idea of getting into that? Because there's something about listening to a cassette or a vinyl where it almost like compels you to almost listen to the whole thing through and feel the entire story of the album.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other side of it too is that, you get to, why I love it is because you get to know who the artist is by listening to the, to the whole, you listen to the whole work, which I really love.
I definitely agree, and that's one of my favorite things too, continuing to follow that journey. So we've continued to follow your journey here. So what exactly after this video, what's next for Troy Kokol, you feel?
I think the next thing I really would like to work on, and this single is part of that, is that I'm going to work on a project. I feel like what I want to do is to create something that is a little, I wouldn't say more experimental, but I think I want to push the boundaries a little bit, use some different recording mediums and some different recording techniques, because as you know, Colton, I record, mix and master my own work. So I think I just really want to take some time and to be able to experiment with that a little bit and to create something that's unique. But yeah, I'll work on another project, and then of course, whatever I end up doing now, I believe I'm definitely going to be doing a video with whatever songs I put out, because I find it really helps me share the emotion a lot better, and visually it gives something to add to the single as well. So I think you could probably count on me doing something for the near future here, of a new project. So.
So definitely continuing to follow that organic nature of growing your own style.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely in terms of animation, and I'm hooked. I actually went to school, animation school in the evenings to do this particular video, and I'm signed up to do some more work with them. And so it's been really great to learn from the pros and to, it's creatively, it just gives you so much more to draw from.
Oh, wow. So last time with the claymation, you had turned to sort of YouTube videos and Google, but this time you actually took the steps to enroll yourself inside of an animation class.
You bet. And I think the thing is because I did the first couple scenes, and I realized very quickly, it's like, I have no idea how to do this. I have cartooned in the past, illustrating cartoons in the past for newspapers and magazines and stuff like that. But I've never, doing animation, there's kinetics of the body, how it moves, and how many frames per second will determine on, what part of the walk cycle that you're drawing. And so there's a lot of real technical stuff that I realized as I started getting into it. It's like, man, I need some help. So the Quick Draw Animation Society, which, I signed up for, they helped me a ton. And the great thing is that they're all pro animators. And so if I needed to ask a question or if I wasn't sure about something, they'd already been there, done that. So it was great. And they've been an amazing support for me. So.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that not only has it helped you do this video, but it's also inspired you to continue on to possibly learn more animation techniques for future
sure.
efforts.
Definitely. And that's the greatest part about it, is that on the animation side, there's so many different ways to create visual medium. So I'm really excited to try something different for the next piece of work that I do. And so it's all good. It's all good and exciting stuff. So I'm pumped.
Oh, I am too. And until then, I'll just continue to enjoy the journey of the cassette tape.
Yes, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you, Troy, for joining me here today on the Desert Tiger Podcast.
Really appreciate it, Colton. We'll talk to you real soon.
I definitely hope so. Until then, continue to stay happy and healthy.
You too. Take care.
Will do.
The Desert Tiger Podcast.
Today on the Desert Tiger Podcast, you heard Troy Kokol's new single, Like a Record. And now you can go ahead and check out the accompanying music video for Like a Record either through Troy Kokol's website, through his social media pages, or by looking up Troy Kokol Like a Record on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find it from there. So I have to go ahead and thank the reluctant cowboy, Troy Kokol, for joining me here once again on the Desert Tiger podcast for round 2. And it was an absolute blast, and I hope you guys enjoyed coming along for the journey as well. And I have to thank you for doing so. If you were new, maybe you want to go ahead and join up with the Desert Tiger Ambush by hitting subscribe or follow on whatever service you're listening to. And there's 3 other amazing ways that you can help the show grow if you already have hit subscribe. Well, one of those is by reviewing the show, 5 out of 5 stars, whatever the equivalent is on your listening service. You can share the episode, take a screenshot, share it on your social media. Take Troy Kokol, the Desert Tiger podcast, or me, the Colton G, and we can show you some love for doing so. Or you can head on over to ilovedtp.com and buy yourself some Desert Tiger podcast merchandise, because that helps us with growing the show in other ways, and the vlog as well. Yes, we do have a vlog, so you can also head on over to the Desert Tiger Colton G YouTube page as well. And you can check that out. We're actually going to be dropping episode 8 of that tomorrow, Wednesday, July the 8th. So if you guys want to join us over on the YouTube page, fantastic. I'm excited that you decided to join us here on the podcast this Friday. We are joined by singer-songwriter Aaron Pollock as we discuss an upcoming single that he is going to be dropping this Friday. And I am extremely excited for you to join me then as well. So, until then, normally I tell you guys to go and find your mountain. Well, 2020 has been a stressful year, and sometimes in deserts there's also oases. So, I'm going to say go ahead and find your desert oasis, because sometimes you also need to kick back, relax, and enjoy all the hard work that you've put in. Maybe go see some family. Whatever it is that brings you joy and helps your heart sing in that way. Yes. So until next week, bye-bye.